4:40 to go. Here in the first, Roanoke still up 5-0, getting those 5 goals in the first 5 minutes. The save made down low by Hardan on John O'Hara. Hardan's outlet taken short of midfield by Ryan Brewer, who races ahead. Brewer looks towards the inside, lowers the shoulder, absorbs a check, dodges towards the front. Left hand took the shot, and he sent that one well high. It'll be backed up on the play by Reed Mayberry.
When we talked about those lift checks, I mean, that was a key example of when he tried to go for the shot. Just that little lift, it puts the ball a couple feet above the goal instead of in the net.
As Guernsey behind the net, pressured, has it knocked free, goes after it. Mayberry comes in on a good man ball drill. As Guernsey sends it behind the net for Reed Mayberry, as the two now trade places. Mayberry up the near side for Connor Dubois. Dubois, Carter, and Mike Hayden out for the Maroons as Carter has it on the left side. Carter moves to the top, now gives it up for Mike Hayden. Hayden on the near wing. Has a lane, dodges in, now rolls back, staying on his left hand. Pass up the top taken by Dubois. Dubois steps in traffic behind the back pass. Goes all the way through. It's backed up on the play by Mayberry. Comes out for Dubois. Fakes the shot. Now moves deep with it. Dubois, goal line extended. Goes behind the net for Mayberry. Mayberry up the far wing for Guernsey. Now Carter. Near side it comes for Mike Hayden as the Maroons have worked the ball around. They go inside hoping for, looked like Lachlan. It was knocked down by Dubois. Went to Carter. Now Dubois has it again at the point. To the near side for Mike Hayden. He'll go behind the net for Reed Mayberry. Further along, far side now for Guernsey. Guernsey sends up the far wing for Carter to the top. Dubois, the near side Hayden, as Roanoke just working the ball around, looking for a good opportunity. Hayden dodges in from the near side, puts the brakes on, goes to the top for Carter, across for Guernsey. They want to try and get that play down low to find Lachlan in front of the crease. They've tried it 2 or 3 times this offensive set, and they just haven't been able to get it to go. Behind the net, it's Reed Mayberry now. Comes up the near side, looking things over, goes for Dubois.
Yeah, it looks like this Roanoke offense that doesn't have all their starters in is having a tough time, Nick, of finding where exactly they want to attack this defense from.
As Guernsey dodges in front, now sends it behind the net. Mayberry out for Dubois. He wanted to shoot that one before he had it. Now has to battle for the ground ball. Dubois kicks it free. Randolph had it for a second, then lost it. Coming up with the pickup on the play is Mike Hayden. Hayden steps into the box. Skip pass all the way across for Will Carter. Carter unable to handle the pass. It's taken now by Randolph. That's coming up on the far side is Belgort. Belgort checked at from behind as he sends it into the far alley for John O'Hara.
I'm not exactly sure what Randolph did that perplexed the Roanoke offense so much, but they did a good job at keeping the ball out of the net on that last play.
It looked like Randolph it was hard to tell because the way Roanoke was lined up, it almost looked like Randolph went to a zone. And that was kind of able to shut down that play, trying to get Lachlan alone on the crease. As Wood dodges towards the right side, picked up by Eric DeLong. Pass goes down right behind Pentecost after to try and pick it off. He couldn't. Crosby moving now behind the net. Crosby comes up the near side. Poked at by Pentecost. Sends a pass up the wing for John O'Hara. O'Hara further to the top. It's dropped now by Crony. He'll go out and take it with Dubois on him. Now he lost it again. Dubois up with it. The official kind of got in the way. But Dubois moving ahead. Opportunity now for Roanoke with an odd man chance. To the near side, it's Guernsey. Guernsey behind the play, Hayden. Looking back across for Guernsey, protects the stick. Hayden moves towards the middle on his left hand, feeds it down low. Lachlan fakes and he scores. Rather, that's Jeff Keating. Keating entered for Lachlan, throws a fake down low, able to get his 26th tally of the season. 6-0 Roanoke, 1:26 to go in the first quarter.
I mean, that's really tough for McCracken, one-on-one with Keating on that one. I mean, Keating even fooled me from the press box. I thought he was going down low, too, for sure. He faked up top, down low again, and just put it right over the goalie. One of the hardest things to do is to save that.
Down the face-off for the Maroons is Ryan Brewer. And another face-off claimed by Grundy. As Grundy cuts in with a shot, bounced that one well up over the net. Hardan out racing towards the end line. He won't be in time. Possession will go to Randolph as O'Hara was there to back it up. 1:17 to go in the first quarter. Roanoke jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Tallied 5 goals in the first 5 minutes and 3 seconds of this one. As Crony lost it towards the far side. Now they battle for it. Pentecost along over for the Maroons. In addition to Merritt as Roanoke comes up with a loose ball. As Pentecost leads it for Hardan behind the net. Up the near side. He gives this one for Worsina. Under 60 seconds to go here in the first quarter as Worsina races over the midfield line. Worsina moving ahead. Sends this one for Brendan Nislik. Nislik feeds it down low. Geary with a shot. He scores. Geary getting his 6th goal of the season The assist will go to Neislich. That makes it 7-0 Roanoke. 46 seconds to go in the first quarter.
It's amazing that a defender has 6 goals. It's lucky if you get 1 goal or even an opportunity, and he gets all these opportunities as playing this long stick midi position.
And Geary, it's not like he was just trying to get out of the way. Geary made a beeline cutting straight down the middle.
Yeah, he was on top of the crease. It wasn't like he was making this. He was in traffic.
And coaches have praised Geary's stick skills all season long. Part of the reason the move for them to put him at long stick midi was basically an easy one, as Worsina comes up with the ground ball. A face-off win for the Maroons from Will Merritt. Goes across. Keating fires, and he sent that one wide of the net. 32 seconds to go. As Keating has it behind the net along the far side. Back to the near side for Reed Mayberry. Keating cutting, trying to get free in front. Mayberry moving behind the net. He's covered by Manhon. Mayberry up the near side. Moves towards the middle. In traffic. Turnaround shot and a save made up high by McCracken. Down to the final 10 seconds of the first quarter. As McCracken sits behind the net, pressured by Guernsey. Lofts this one into the middle. High pass corralled there by Grundy. He's checked at as the horn sounds, and that'll do it for the first quarter here in Salem. Roanoke leading Randolph 7-0, getting 3 goals in the first quarter from Rich Lackland. He had the hat trick 5 minutes in. Also a tally from Keating, Mayberry, Mike Hayden, and Braden Geary. Clock set to 15 minutes as we'll step aside. Get you set for the start of the second quarter. You're listening to Roanoke College Lacrosse on ESPN Radio. I'll be back after this.
Don't settle for bar food at a sports bar. Watch the game on a big screen and eat great food at a sports cafe. All Sports Cafe with 30 screens of sports and the best food around. Say no to bar food and yes to great food at All Sports Cafe in Roanoke and Salem. Be sure to catch Roanoke College Sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
As we're underway in the second quarter, it's taken by Randolph College. Welcome back to those of you listening on ESPN in Virginia. As Worsina comes with a great over-the-head check, knocked the ball free, but we have a whistle, and it looks like it's going to be a loose ball hold called against Worsina. As Charlie Peace back in goal for the Maroons, he gets the nod for the start of the second quarter. We did see Peace for all of 30 seconds in the first. Most of it belonged to Hardan, who played well, making 2 saves.
Yeah, Hardan played very, very well in the last quarter.
Borgilt starting from the far side, checked out by Jimmy McNeely as he turns back, sends a pass out towards the top for O'Hara. O'Hara skips to the near side for Crony. Crony, the only goal on Wednesday against Lynchburg for this Randolph club. He goes behind the net for Crosby. Crosby puts the brakes on. Checked out behind the net by Haggins. Roanoke has made some changes to their defense. Haggins and Bradley Mayer are in, as McNeely able to knock the ball free and come up with it. McNeely ahead has Eric DeLong. He was unable to take the pass. Worsina has it as he'll race in. Then Worsina dropped it. Worsina up with the ground ball. Crosses over. In traffic with a shot. He hit the goalpost. Got that one all the way through McCracken, through the defense, and rang it off the iron. McNeely will collect it for the Maroons. Sends it down the near wing for Jeff Keating.
An unorthodox transition and fast break for Roanoke, but whatever works.
As out of the box is Connor Dubois along with Mike Hayden. Roanoke working to complete the midi change. As Will Carter coming in out of the box as well. Mike Hayden sits along the far alley as he moves down the wing. The Maroons will invert here early in the second quarter. Comes Reed Mayberry at the top, back down low for Mike Hayden. Hayden toe-to-toe now with Grundy. Races up, feeds cross crease, hoping to find Carter with that one. It eluded him and out of play. It looks like the officials are going to call that a shot, and possession will stay with the Maroons. Roanoke asked for a horn, brought out their defense. The officials still looking things over as now the defensive midfield for the Maroons will head back off. Keating set to start with it. As I definitely thought that looked like a pass. The officials, though, decided it looked enough like a shot toward possession to whoever was closer when the ball went out. As at the top, it's Connor Dubois. Dubois covered by Valentine as he moves down the right side. Got a pick from Hayden as Dubois tied up. Looked to feed it back in front. Nobody there. Comes to the near side. Keating feeds it all the way out, hoping for Carter. He was unable to handle that pass. It'll trickle out of bounds in front of the Randolph bench. Possession back to the Wildcats.
And looks like that one was not a shot. That one was a pass.
I'm pretty sure. Well, that came from behind the net.
Well, you never know, Nick.
It's awful hard to bank one in lacrosse. Haven't seen that done in a long time. As the Wildcats will start with it on the clear and drop it back to McCracken from his own restraining line. He sends a pass ahead for John O'Hara. O'Hara steps through now, sends a pass down the left wing, dropped by Allman. He comes up with the ground balls. He's hacked out on the play. Doobie and Ingold combine to knock the ball free. Wersina up with the ground ball. He just flips this one for Ingold. He's up with DeLong. DeLong ahead. Has it. Flag down, delayed call coming up. To the near side, it's Keating. Feeds it down low. Reed Mayberry holds a backhand shot. It's answered by McCracken.
As it wouldn't go for Reed Mayberry. As he goes down, comes up with the ground ball. There is a delayed call coming up against Randolph as Wersina was decked late behind the play. They tried to start the clear. At the top, it's Ingold. Walks the line. They would stay in the box. Sends it for Jeff Keating in traffic. Keating goes up the right side for Kyle Smith. Maroons will make a midi change. Roanoke has to keep it in the box and keep possession. Smith moving behind the net, races up the near side, clears goal line extended, hacked at by Blackwell as he sends it out for Neislick. Out of the box, we'll get the call.
A little miscommunication on the offense there. I don't think they realized they had to keep it in the boxes.
There was only one flag that came in, and it came from the near side official.
It came on the near side. It came on the near side, but it was on the off side.
It was all the way on the other side, behind the play. I didn't see the call, TJ. You'll have to imagine it's an illegal body check or a cross check.
There was a big hit right after the play. The ball had already been cleared, and a Randolph player.
What's the penalty?
Late hit.
.30-second push with possession. The call against Randolph. As it's fed down low, goal line extended for Guernsey. Back to the top it comes for Jeff Keating. Keating on the right side, Hayden. Keating cuts through. To the near side now, Connor Dubois. As Roanoke moves to somewhat of a 1-3-2 setup. Keating behind the net. Feeds it for Reed Mayberry. At the top, Hayden and Dubois. They'll flip. Dubois with it. Feeds it down low for Jeff Keating. A bounce shot. He scores. Keating getting his 27th goal of the season. Second of the afternoon. As you saw McCracken come out like he was going to take that one. And Keating just grabbed it from him and bounced that one in.
Yeah, I'm almost even wondering where that ball went, Nick. That play works so well sometimes. It just fools the defense. They're not really exactly sure which side it's on. It's hard for the goalie to know who has it.
The benefit we have here up top is that we get to see the ball go in between them. 11:21 to go in the second quarter. Roanoke now up 8-0. It's a battle for the face-off. Randolph scoops it back. Doobie comes up with it. Doobie quickly feeds it for Jeff Keating. Cutter in the middle. Wersina turns and shoots one. He sent it high and wide. Backed up on the play by Guernsey. He's able to beat McCracken towards the line. Guernsey brings it in behind the net. Goes now for Jeff Keating at X. Keating far side for Dominic Guernsey. Getting a lot of playing time today. Smith and Parsons play catch. Now down the far wing for Guernsey. To the near side, Jeff Keating. Keating looks things over, goes for Neislick at the top. Neislick down the right side for Kyle Smith as the Maroons working the ball around the perimeter. Keating behind the net, back far side for Guernsey. Comes up goal line, extended. Parsons pops out as Guernsey gives it up. Parsons at the top of the box. Goes for Guernsey down the right wing. The near side behind the net, it's Keating. Up now for Kyle Smith. Again on the right side, Parsons. Working around the perimeter. Nislik and Lachlan trying to get free in front. As all the way at the top, it's Spencer Parsons. Parsons races down the right side. Angle shot, and he sent that one wide of the net. Keating will back it up. Possession to stay with the Maroons. 10:19 to go. Here in the second, Roanoke up 8-0.
I mean, that last play, Nick, does look a little ridiculous if you just think about it superficially, but when you really think about it, passing around makes the defense tired and they're off their feet. I mean, when you pass around, the ball can move faster than your feet can. You put the defense off balance, and you look for that golden opportunity for a goal.
Yeah, Smith took a bounce shot and sent it wide. Yeah, you're right, TJ. That's one of the things we had mentioned as part of our keys to the game was Roanoke's depth. As Randolph with 20, Roanoke with just about 20 freshmen on their roster. Two completely different dynamics of a team here. As in front, Nislik tried a backhand shot, and a save made by McCracken. Big, juicy rebound comes right for Keating. Lackland in front with a quick stick try. Went off his stick. He never quite controlled it. Ground ball was taken behind the net, knocked free. Guernsey over after it as Nislik runs hard into his man. Lackland comes up with it, feeds Keating on the near side. Keating fakes the shot. He scores. Keating getting his third goal of the day. 28th tally of the season. 9:35 to go. 9-0 Roanoke.
5 different Maroons have scored today, 2 with hat-tricks, and 1 is a defender, Nick.
Is Keating on that faked hard high. It looked like McCracken was going to jump all the way up off the ground on that one. As they get lined up for the face-off, Worsina wing to the near side, wing to the far side. Dennis Checklin. As they battle for it at the X, Will Carter taking the draw for the Maroons. Randolph was able to win it back, but now they battle for the ground ball. Something Roanoke has an advantage on as Worsina up with it. Worsina feeds it down low. Guernsey fed back in front. Lackland had his stick tied up, still able to get a shot away. They dig for it at the crease. Lackland with it, tried to stuff a backhand in. But wave a whistle and a crease violation called against the Maroons. Possession will go back now to Randolph. As Justin Baker sends it behind the net for McCracken. Lofts it up the far side for Blackwell. Blackwell lowers his head, races towards the midfield as he clears the line. Randolph keeping a man back. Now they bring him over. The Wildcats are still on sides as they have a defender well back behind the play. Caught myself there. As Carter up at the ground ball, he'll race in. Will Carter lowers his shoulder. He's bumped down. Able to hop back up on his feet. No flag as it was a clean hit to take Carter to the ground. He loses the ball out of bounds along the far wing after he was pestered in the play by Ryan Blackwell. Possession back to Randolph.
Jeff Keating having an amazing season. I mean, against WNL in their last game, he had a hat-trick as well, and 4 assists. In this game, he has a hat-trick. Just racking up those tallies.
Keating, a preseason first-team All-American. Coming off a season last year, the second highest point total ever by a Maroon as he helped lead his team to the 2011 NCAA semifinals before falling to eventual national champion Salisbury. As Roanoke able to get their second on the pass and knock it free, McNeely moves ahead. In the middle now it's Guernsey. Guernsey draws the near side for Jeff Keating with a shot. He scores.
What did I just say, Nick? Keating's having a great season?
Keating getting his 4th goal of the day. 10-0 Roanoke, 8:27 to go in the second quarter. Keating, the Chatham, New Jersey native, getting his 29th of the season.
He loves to post up right on that left side of the crease. I mean, his last 2 goals were pretty much the exact same, except for the most recent goal. He actually didn't fake, just went straight for the goal.
As we can go back and take a look at the replay. As Guernsey in the middle had a chance to walk right in, instead drew the defender 2 steps towards him. They would have feed it down low for Keating. The Maroons still battling for it. Doobie in after it, stands up his man. Parsons got a piece of it, now chips it further towards himself. As Parsons moves goal and extended down behind the net. Now comes for Jeff Keating. Keating sits at X, goes for Guernsey on the far side. Roanoke making a midfield change, bringing the face-off group off the turf. Sloughed out to the top now for Kyle Smith. Smith out working with Nislik and Parsons as Nislik Dodges down the right side, goes behind the net, comes to the near side for Jeff Keating, fed in front. Parsons with a quick stick try, and that hits something in front. I'm not sure if one of them, McCracken or caught iron. As Randolph just rolls the ball further for Baker. As Pearson was about to go out of bounds. McCracken in the crease, sends it up the far side for Matt Bray. Bray running too hard by Nislak. He's able to stay on his feet, but I believe he stepped out of bounds, was the call from the official along the far side. Possession now back to Roanoke. Another unsuccessful clear from Randolph. Be interesting to see the halftime stats of Roanoke's ride.
Nick, if you watch this next offensive possession, you're going to see the Maroons do something they've been doing all day, which is firing their passes at each other, just rolling around. Their passes are so quick and so precise. I mean, this is the type of characteristic that you see in D1 schools like Syracuse and Hopkins. I mean, they're notoriously known for passing like this.
Guernsey free in front with a bounce shot, and he sent that one wide.
And when you pass like this, you put the defense, I mean, they don't really know where to go because they have to step up every time someone gets the ball. And you can't do that 4 or 5 times in a few seconds if you're passing around so fast. Maroons are doing a good job. If they keep doing this, they're going to look pretty good in the tournament later this season.
Well, like in most sports, the ball moves quicker than your feet can, but lacrosse, the ball is going to move a whole lot quicker. As it's fed in front, hoping for Carter. Or the Keating held on to it. Comes for Lackland on the near side. The shot, he scores. Lackland getting his 4th goal of the afternoon. Keating faked it for Carter inside. Brought it around behind the net. Able to find Lackland, who basically had half an empty net to shoot at. Deposits that one in the back of the cage. 6:55 to go in the second. 11-0 Roanoke. So we get set for the face-off. Chicklin wing to the far side. Worsino wing to the near. As well, Merritt able to pop it out behind him. Now they battle for it. Merritt, Worsino in on it. Chicklin comes up with the ground ball as he emerges towards the far side. Chicklin racing down the wing, protects the stick, dodges in front. Chicklin in traffic, lost it. Long sticks getting maybe a little greedy.
I mean, a long stick running through 5 defenders is not going to get through with the ball.
That doesn't happen often. As behind that, having some trouble with that one is Blackwell. He'll send it in the crease for McCracken. All right, that came a long stick on the near side, sent up the alley. As Grundy was unable to handle the pass. Lowering short on his man there was Bradley Mayer. Comes back now for Croney. Waiting for reinforcements out of the box. Bounces this one for Allman. As Allman goes in the middle for Colton Wood. Now to the near side for Grundy. Grundy, now Allman. Again at the top. Allman races down the right side. Ingold on him. Tries to roll to the inside. Now back out. Plays this one behind the net. It's Croney with it there. Tries to roll free. Poked at by Mayer. Croney out in the far alley. Lofts the pass out towards the top. Taken by John Grundy. Grundy down the right side. Wrapped up and dropped by Worsino. The officials called a clean check. Worsino almost an Indian check on that one as he races up the near side. As now Worsino hit hard and taken out. Ball comes free in the middle for Brian Ingold. As now it's touched up by Randolph. Will get the call. As that's going to be an illegal body check against Randolph. I believe it was the same player that Worsino had tied up. You're going to get him back, at least make it clean.
Yeah, Allman, he had a great check. I mean, he lost the ball. He came back. It's unfortunate to see a player get a penalty like that, but a push from behind, you just can't do that in lacrosse. This is the first penalty of the game, first man opportunity for Roanoke.
Second, actually. As we saw the penalty come earlier from the late hit on Worsino.
True.
As Keating at the top to the near side for Dubois. As he gets it back from Guernsey, goes again for Keating at the point. Keating cycles down low for Mayberry on the far side. Back to the top. Roanoke moves to a 1-3-2. As Guernsey goes behind the net for Keating. Looking things over. Goes to Mayberry, now Hayden. They'll work the ball. Hayden flips it. He's still with it. Hayden sends it in front for Jeff Keating. Tried to jump and take that one over top of the crease. He was unable to connect. Mayberry up with the ground ball behind the net. Goes out to the top now for Mike Hayden. Hayden feeds it near side Guernsey. Tried to cycle it further for Keating. Pass was knocked down. Keating up with the ground ball. Keating feeds it down low in front. Reed Mayberry, the shot, he scores. Mayberry, his second tally of the ball game. 16th goal of the season. A man-up goal makes it 12-0 Roanoke. 4:37 to go in the second quarter.
I mean, Randolph doing the right thing on getting the hit on Mayberry right on the crease as he's shooting, but I mean, you can't stop Mayberry, it seems like, with 2 tallies today.
You have to take the body when they're in that close. Mayberry, 2 goals in 2 consecutive games. He had 5 shots against W&L coming in off the bench.
I mean, Roanoke is playing amazing, and when we talked about before about the depth aspect of the game, Roanoke has 8 players with double-digit point totals. The Maroons are one of 4 teams in the ODAC to have 8 players with 10 points or more, which is tied for the highest in the conference.
I believe Lynchburg, Hampton, Sidney, and Randolph-Macon, the other 3. As the illegal procedure called on Roanoke off the face-off, as Randolph will control on the far side, it's Allman. Allman racing through the top. Allman cuts down the right side with a shot. Sent that one wide of the net. As Charlie Peace races out of his crease, able to back it up. Possession now will go back to the Maroons. Peace on the clear. Outlets up the near side. Pass taken by Jimmy McNeely on a hop. McNeely steps into the box. Dodges for his left hand. McNeely with a shot. He sent that one wide of the net. Able to slide that one through. Looked like 2 Randolph defenders. Backed up the play by Reed Mayberry. Mayberry goes behind the net now for Jeff Keating. Skip pass towards the top right corner of the box for Brendan Neislick. Looks as Kyle Smith coming in late. Smith steps in. Now turns back. Moving out towards the chop, trying to organize his offense. Smith, Neislick, and Parsons, the second midfield unit today for Coach Pilot. As Neislick turns inside in traffic, he got hit as he let the shot go. Parsons with a rebound chance. He sent that one wide of the net. Mayberry up with the ground ball towards the far side. Goes to Smith. Now to the near side, Neislick. At the top, Neislick stutters. Now drives it on his left hand. Goes behind the net for Keating. To the far side, Reed Mayberry. Looking for Lackland in front. Finds it behind the back. He scores! Rich Lackland getting his 5th goal of this season. A behind-the-back beauty. 13-0 Roanoke. 3:22 to go in the second. The 31st goal of the season for the junior.
And the 5th tally he has today, Nick.
As they go down for the face-off, illegal procedure called against Randolph. Roanoke will start with it right off the X. Racing in is Will Merritt. Merritt to the near side. Keating with a shot. He sent that one just high and wide. Mayberry will bring it in behind the net. Go for Jeff Keating. Keating for Connor Dubois. Now to the top now, Mike Hayden. Dubois, Hayden, and Carter to the top midfield line this afternoon. Met with Coach Pilot yesterday. He knew what the top 6 were going to be. He just wasn't sure how they were going to be paired up. As it comes up now for Will Carter to the top for Rich Lackland. Dubois down the right side for Mayberry. The Maroons have gone to an open set. They put things in action as Hayden dodges topside. Goes for Will Carter, who tries to get in. Carter held up. Goes down low for Dubois. Dubois pulls up, goal line extended behind the net now for Jeff Keating. Keating for Lackland up the near side. Now Hayden further on the top for Carter. Carter races down the right wing. Drew a slide. He's tied up hard. That'll be a penalty. A hold call coming up here against Randolph. Roanoke will go back to the man up for 30 seconds.
Third man up opportunity for today. And Nick, you mentioned before, Pilot knew who he was going to put out, just not how they would pair up. I think that this non-starter offense is doing a great job moving the ball around and get a lot of shots on goal, which is key at winning this game.
Neislick, Carter, and Smith have played well today. Not taking away from Parsons, Dubois, and Hayden, who have also had success. Only 1 goal coming from the midfield this afternoon for the Maroons, at least so far. Lackland up the near side, goes out to the top for Dubois. Along the right side, it's Guernsey. Behind the net now, Jeff Keating. Keating for Reed Mayberry in traffic. Mayberry took an angle shot. He was checked as he let that one go. Possession will stay with the Maroons. As Keating will bring it in behind the net. 2:04 to go. Here in the second quarter, Roanoke up 13-0 over Randolph here at Kerr Stadium. I'm Nick DeSanctis with TJ Kemper. So glad you could join us on such a beautiful day here in Southwest Virginia. As Hayden with it, goal line extended from the far side. Drops it off behind the net for Jeff Keating. Back across for Hayden looking to feed. Lackland and Mayberry picking off each other inside. Keating moves behind the net. Time winding down the man advantage. Now the penalty has released. Both teams back to even strength. They flip it behind the net. Keating has it along the near side. No, it's Mike Hayden. Dubois outside chance. He scores. I got fooled on that one. Can usually see it coming. Dubois getting his 14th goal of the season. 1:39 to go in the second. 14-0.
It's such a simple play, Nick, but it works for the Maroons all the time.
It does. At the second goal Roanoke has gotten from the midfield today. Dubois finished with a tally against Washington and Lee. As they go down for the face-off, the two teams battling for it. Now we have a whistle and a loose ball hold. This called here against the Maroons, I believe, on merit. As Allman will start with it. Allman checked at. Tosses that one now for John Grundy at the top. Races down the near side. Worsino with him. To the near corner now for Crosby. Crosby comes up goal line extended. Checked at by Kyle Haggins. Grundy moves towards the top with it now from the near side. Almost a 1-1-1-3 setup now for Randolph. As an angle shot, stick save made on the play by Charlie Peace. He'll dig that one up from his crease. As we're down to the last minute of play in the second quarter. Panicos with it, moving up the right wing. Plays that one ahead for Merritt, able to protect the stick as he moves towards the inside. Merritt on his left hand comes for Keating. Keating back for Worsino in traffic. Worsino dodges free in front with a bounce shot and a save made down low by McCracken. Fed back in front for Lackland. Lackland stood out, tried to just kind of flick that one towards the net.
Would it be the first time he tried that today?
As O'Hara with it off the clear pass from McCracken as he moves ahead. Stopped at the restraining line. Sends it now for Stephen Allman. Allman steps in the box in the top left corner. He's checked out hard by Neislich. Doobie comes over. He just wants to roll that one out to the top, but we have a whistle and a timeout on the field taken by Coach Andy Sinclair. His second time out of the half. He'll try and get something set up here in the final 18.4. 14-0 the score here at Kerr Stadium. TJ now step aside. Be back after this. You're listening to Roanoke College Lacrosse on ESPN Radio. Welcome back to Kerr Stadium as we get set for the final 18 seconds of the second quarter. 14-0 the score. The Maroons leading Randolph. Goal scoring so far. Jeff Keating with 4, Lackland with 5. Mayberry with 2 as the attack unit for the Maroons has provided a bulk of the load. Roanoke's other 3 goals coming from Dubois, Hayden, and oddly enough, Braden Geary on the board again, his 6th tally of the season. And this Charlie Peace remains in goal. We saw Hardan in the first quarter. Saw Peace for 30 seconds of that first quarter. And the second, it's been Hardan. Coach Pilot had told me yesterday he wanted to go with a new goalie every quarter, try and get them all some work. We'll see who comes out in the third or how time gets divvied up. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gil Long, the freshman goalie for the Maroons, sees some time, maybe even as soon as the third quarter, already with a 14-0 lead. As out of a timeout, Randolph will operate. Pass skip to the near side for Allman. Allman on his left hand, tries to get into the box. He stood up there. Checked at by Jimmy McNeely as Doobie was providing some help as well. Pass comes all the way through the top, swatted at by Ingold and knocked free. Trying to corral that one is Wood down the far side. Wood has it. 3 seconds now, 2. Clock down the 1. They feed it towards the front of the net. The horn will sound. Not in time. We've played 30 minutes of lacrosse here in Salem. Roanoke leading Randolph 14-0. TJ and I will take the timeout. We'll be back. Give you the first half stats. We'll check in with our keys to the game. Give you our thoughts in the first half and get you geared up for the final 30 minutes. You're listening to Roanoke College Lacrosse on 1240 AM ESPN in Virginia. We'll be back after this.
Don't settle for bar food at a sports bar. Watch the game on a big screen and eat great food at a sports cafe. All Sports Cafe with 30 screens of sports and the best food around. Say no to bar food and yes to great food at All Sports Cafe in Roanoke and Salem. For information or schedules on Valley Vision TV programs, visit us on the internet at valleyvisiontv.com. Remember, you're watching the Valley's only true local network, Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7.
And we're back here at Kerr Stadium. Roanoke outscoring Randolph 7-0 in the first, 7-0 in the second for a 14-0 score at the half. Roanoke led by Rich Lackland, who has 5 goals. In this one, Jeff Keating has 4 goals and 2 assists, while Reed Mayberry has 2 goals. Hayden, Dubois, and Geary each adding a tally. Hayden with 2 assists, along with Dominic Guernsey, Dubois, Lachlan, Mayberry, Nislik, and Wersina also each with assists. Roanoke 3 for 3 on their man-up opportunities, as Randolph has taken 3 penalties for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Wildcats are below 50% clearing right now. That hasn't happened in a while. They are 4 for 11. Last time opponent was below 50% clearing was when Guilford was 46% back in April of 2010. The Maroons are out shooting Randolph right now 42-4. 18-2 in the first half, 24-2 in the second half, and winning that ground ball battle, the ever-important ground ball battle, 34-17. Face-offs just about even. Randolph has won 9. Roanoke has won 8. McCracken with 12 saves in goal, while Hardin and Peace are each credited with 1 save. Randolph 16 turnovers, Roanoke with 9. TJ, as you look down through our stat packet, is there anything that really jumps out to you?
I mean, first of all, Randolph is doing a good job of getting those face-offs. I'm surprised that Roanoke hasn't begun to dominate that, but I mean, shots on goal, that's the one big stat that I see that's really hurting Randolph. They need to start getting more shots on goal. I mean, they're having these offensive possessions. I mean, given there aren't a lot of them, but they need to shoot on goal if they want to come back from this. Roanoke, I mean, outshooting them, 42-4. I mean, that's just crazy to me.
I haven't seen a game like this in quite a while. As obviously the teams alternate, you play 1 year home, 1 year and away. I did get to see them play Randolph my sophomore year here at the college, and it was a very similar story. Randolph is a young, developing program. You don't just walk into a lacrosse program and build tradition like Roanoke has and recruit some of the best players in the country like Roanoke has. It just doesn't happen. As Randolph, like every program has and every program will continue, they're going through their growing pains. They're working to establish a very respectable program. They have the potential to do so. You're taking a head coach in Andy Sinclair, who came from Lynchburg. He graduated Lynchburg back in 2003. He's assisted on the sideline by Egeling, a Hornet who I had the chance to see play. So Randolph is bringing in people that can help bring this program up, but it's going to take time. The roster starting out right now with just 20 people. It's difficult to field a team with 20 people. I don't know about you, our high school team had 40, and it even felt like sometimes that wasn't enough. This isn't a game where you're going to play 10 guys the whole time and that's it.
I mean, my high school team, we had 25 people, but the difference is we've been around for a while. We were already established. People knew us as a high school to come to if you wanted to play lacrosse. I mean, Randolph, in their 4th season, they are definitely in the growing stage. I foresee them being good in the future, but right now they have to build their team before they can look to win a championship.
The other problem you run into playing lacrosse in the ODAC is this is a very good lacrosse conference. Yeah, I believe not last year, 2 years ago, you had Washington and Lee, Roanoke, Lynchburg, and Hampton City all in the top 20 at one point during the season. They were all in the poll at one time.
I mean, it's hard to even be a well-established team and come to the ODAC and do well. So Randolph's got a ways to go. I definitely see them as doing better in future seasons, and they just got to start getting a couple wins under their belt. They have 4 wins total in the last 4 seasons.
3 wins this season.
Yeah, it's good to see them start to get three wins this season. They're going to look to get their first ODAC win this season. I mean, maybe not today, but hopefully soon.
Still 2 ODAC games left for them to go. We'll step aside and be back. We'll go back over the keys to the game, get you set as we get geared up for the final 30 minutes of lacrosse. Stay with us. And we're back here at Kerr State on the faceoff to begin our second half. Beginning of the third quarter with holding the call against the Maroons. Mike Hayden in on the faceoff. He will head off as Randolph controls the opening possession here in the third quarter. Mike Hardan checks back in net for the Maroons as Roanoke has no starters out on defense. TJ, let's go back through and take a look at our keys to the game from the first half. The first key we came up with was focus, as I think they're doing that. The Maroons on pace for a 28-goal day.
Oh, I mean, that one's easy, Nick. I mean, they're focusing on the task at hand. They definitely have Randolph in their sights. Next one was depth. I mean, if you're just looking at the rosters alone, Roanoke has 41 players, 20 of them are freshmen, and Randolph has 20 players total. I mean, we talked earlier about, the team upcoming, the new team, just starting. But, I mean, that's definitely hurting the shallow roster there. And our third one was goalies. I mean, if you look at the scoreboard, I think our goalies have been doing really well. Charles Peace in for a little bit. Mike Hardan in now. Or no, excuse me.
Yeah, we saw Hardan for the first quarter, Peace for the second. Hardan getting the start here in the third quarter.
Okay.
Interesting to see when Pilot decides to go with Peace, when Gil Long works his way into this equation, because Pilot said if the game does become a widespread, as Randolph unable to handle the pass at midfield, Roanoke will start up on the offensive possession. Racing at is Chad Smith. Smith feeds it down low with a shot and a save. Made on the play by McCracken. Smith back up with the ground ball as they dig for it with Rosano. Behind the net, Worsina comes up with it. Worsina feeds out in front, getting tied up on the play in close. was, I believe, Chad Smith. Coming up with this one now is Chris Duran. TJ, I've completely lost my train of thought of what we were talking about 10 seconds ago.
Oh, we're talking about goalies. I mean, they only had 2 saves, but I mean, in the first half combined. But I mean, with 0 goals for Randolph in the first half, I mean, the goalies have been playing really well. Mike Hardan and Charles Peace.
As a new goalie has checked in, Songer in the goal now for Randolph. As we have a whistle. Maroon didn't have his chin strap buckled up all the way, and the official's giving him a chance to straighten that one out.
Well, safety first, Nick.
As passed behind the net, unable to handle it by Duran from Brewer. As the third midfield unit got a chance to operate there to open the third. Have to imagine we've seen the end of the day for most of Roanoke's starters.
I mean, with Richard Lackland tallying up 5, now he passes Paul Goldsmith and is now 10th in all-time goals for the Roanoke Maroons.
Leader in all-time goals is John Mason, who has plenty as the Maroons bury their man on the play. Up with the ground ball, walking right in was Ingold, but the play whistled dead for a loose ball push. Buried on that play was Josh Borgelt. Lackland actually coming up kind of close now on Jeff Keating. It's Keating with 141 career goals. As Randolph trying to start the clear.
Yeah, Lackland's got 122. Keating gets one more. He ties for 7th with Brett Smith at 142 all-time goals.
Not sure we'll see Keating for the rest of the day today, but look for him next Saturday against Randolph-Macon as the clearing pass intended for Songer in the crease up over his head and out of bounds. Roanoke will go back on the offensive side of things.
Oh, that's going to be a great game against Randolph-Macon, and it's on Alumni Weekend, too.
Alumni Weekend, always a good time. Even last year, the pouring rain and thunderstorms pregame. Teams waited. I believe that game was delayed an hour or so before they played. Always a big crowd on hand, a great atmosphere at Alumni Weekend. For more information on Roanoke College's Alumni Weekend, you can visit roanoke.edu. As it always starts off with Fridays on the quad and down the athletic quad. Starting to miss the FOTQ. This will be my last. As they feed this one down low, hoping to get it for Rosano. He was unable to handle the pass. 2 straight turnovers.
Yeah, we'll miss you next year, Nick.
And it's going to be a different life moving ahead when I walk across the stage in 29 days.
Oh, it's soon.
That's not that I'm counting. Parents already making the graduation plans. The hotel room's all booked. Now I got to do is pass my classes. That's the kicker. As Menango gets tied up inside as he's checked in. Racing ahead, Smith a couple checks on him. Rosano able to muscle his way all the way through. Pestered from behind as he gets a touch. Still tied up, moving towards the far alley. Stephen Mitchell all over him. At this point, Mitchell's going to follow him into the parking lot when he goes to get on the bus. Mitchell finally able to knock the ball free, but we have a whistle on the play. Looking for some sort of signal. As there's a penalty and a flag down.
Looked like a slash on the Maroons.
I don't see a flag on the field, but flag called against Mitchell. Slashing penalty, 60-second man-up opportunity comes now for Randolph College.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't see the flag go up either. I just saw the ref blow the whistle.
Right in front of the sub box, like he just turned around to the table to make the call. Randolph's extra man operating just over 12% as Doobie able to punch the ball frame. McNeely ties up his man in close. And Braden Geary up with the ground ball. The goal scorer extraordinaire loses it up the near side. He's after it. He'll have another opportunity. Unfortunately, he loses the ground ball towards the near line. Geary able to keep it in. Tried to hockey it to himself. Nice nifty Indian pickup as he steps in. Dishes it off on the near side for Rosano. Gets an applause from the crowd. Rosano looks, has Geary waiting in front of the net. Geary already one goal today. He'll peel back towards the box. Jim McNeely sits on the near side of the restraining line. Content to sit in the alley and eat the clock. Randolph not applying a lot of pressure. Easily allowing Roanoke to kill this off. McNeely dumps it behind the net. Taken there by Chad Smith.
You don't see this a lot, Nick. I mean, even when Roanoke's been up by a lot, they always try to extend the lead as much as possible. Now they're kind of slowing it down. Maybe waiting for their offense to get set up a little bit.
With a man down, though, not a bad idea. Take the time. Let the penalty release, as it just has. He's coming out of the box. For the Maroons is Pat Bear. As Barrow sent it behind, this will give the young offense, middies and attack, a chance to operate. As to the top, it goes for Cam Ecker. Ecker down the left wing. Sent behind it now for Chad Smith. Up the near side. Now cycled back down low. Smith on his left hand. Tried an angled bounce shot and a save made on the play. Coming in from up high was Cam Ecker, racing for that one as 3 Maroons get tied up along the far side. Rosano up with it. Rather, Pat Bear. Bear outside. The edge of the restraining box. Feeds this one down low for Chad Smith. Smith to the near side for Chris Duran. Roanoke working the ball outside the perimeter. The top left corner. Fed down the left wing. Now behind the net. As Chad Smith sits with it at X. Smith feeds it up the near side for Duran, who moves behind the net. Back cross for Chad Smith. It's swung out. Outside chance and high and wide. Out of the stick of Pat Bear. Just following that shot all the way was Chris Songer. As Chris Duran moves behind the net. Gives it up for Chad Smith. He'll take his place at X. Smith to the near side. Now for Colin Rosano. Tried to feed that one out in front. That shot goes up high. Backed up in the play by Rosano. Possession to stay with the Maroons. Getting that chance in close was Cam Ecker.
Possession will stay with the Maroons, but the Randolph defensive zone is doing a good job at reading what the Maroons are trying to do on offense and stepping to the ball.
As Randolph is now sitting back in his own defense. Behind the net, Colin Rosano. Rosano sends it out far side for Chad Smith. Comes out through the top. On the near side, it's Pat Bear. Bear from a sharp angle, faked the shot and drew his defender out. Now sends it through the top. Goes towards the far side for Ben Rosel. Rosel back to the near side for Cam Ecker, who sends it down low. Smith for Colin Rosano. Rosano back now for Smith at X. Smith feeds it for Duran on the near side. Tried to send a pass out in front. That one got through. It's kicked free in front. Duran digging for it. Stands up his man. Someone's lost his stick. Now, oh my, Ecker came in and knocked the 2 of them down together. As they still dig for it, a fair catch then called for and made in the crease by Songer. But we have a whistle behind the play. Legal procedure called against Randolph. I believe playing without a stick. It was a delayed play on call.
I mean, it was a cluster. It was hard to see what was going on.
As Pearson without a stick came through and then leaned in on 2 Maroons. Nero went up from the official back behind the play as he was able to see things develop. Duran from the near side feeds it out towards the top. Cycled in the middle. Bear steps in with a shot and he ripped that one wide. Pat Bear, the senior, out of Falls Church, Virginia. It's behind the net. Duran cycles up towards the far side. Drops it behind the net for Colin Rosano. Rosano wraps the crease. Now pulls back low. Took a shot in close and a save made by Songer. Rebound by Bear. He's buried on the play. Randolph came up with the ground ball. Some sort of a mess. Now we have a whistle and a loose ball push is called against Roanoke. It looked like Blackwell there got tied up. Unable to handle the pass along the near side was Borgett. Borgett comes up with it, feeds this one in the middle for Allman. Allman tries to swim around 2 Maroons. McNeely ties him up, able to knock the ball free. That's going to be a loose ball hold, though, on Jimmy McNeely. Possession now to stay with Randolph.
For the first time in a while in this third quarter.
Under 8 minutes to go here in the third. Roanoke still up 14-0. Trying to back his way in there was Crosby. He'll feed it behind the net. Maroons able to knock the pass down. Hagen's over after the ground ball. It's taken now by Brad Mayer. Mayer checked for behind, lost it. Now goes to dig for it. He has it back, moving up the near line. Lost it again, checked. Able to shovel that one ahead for Jimmy McNeely. McNeely, the senior, in over the restraining line. Dodges towards the right side. Rolls back towards the middle. McNeely staying on his right hand. Bump from behind. Able to get a pass away to Duran down low. Duran feeds it up the far side. Smith goes back behind the net for Duran. Duran feeds out in front. In front with a shot, they score. It's Will Merritt getting his first career goal, second career point. That extends the Roanoke lead down to 15-0. 7:17 to go here in the third quarter.
And that's just another Maroon that has scored, that has tallied today. 7 different Maroons. Just proves that Roanoke not only has depth in the length of the roster, but on who can score.
It's one thing to have bodies. It's another thing to have talent. As Will Carter will go down for the faceoff. Long stick to the near side is Chicklin. Wing to the far side is Worsina. Good to see him back after taking that really hard hit in the second quarter. As This one punched that off the faceoff for Will Carter. Had some trouble with the ground ball, now drives in. Carter to the near side for Duran. He tried to move before he caught the pass. Ground ball taken by Herrick behind the net. He stood up as he lost it. Now has the ground ball again, trying to protect his stick. Maneuvering with one hand, but he lost it. Carter back up, but able to avoid the check. Carter from behind the net comes up the far side, looks to feed. Defense recovers quickly as it comes now for Chicklin at the top. And Longstick Committee is still involved in the play as he gives it up now for Chad Smith on the left wing. Smith carries it behind the net. Has Duran towards the near side if he feeds. Smith now finds Duran again. Tried to move and shoot before he had caught the pass. Carter tries to drive his man off. He can as Mahone giving him a battle for that ground ball. Merritt was after it as well. Coming up with the loose ball was Marin. Marin then checked again. He lost it. Good job binding off his man by Ryan Brewer. As Brewer will watch this one roll out of bounds. Possession back to Roanoke. We're going to horn the Maroons. Will make a midi change. Good man ball work there by the Maroons, battling for that loose GB.
Oh, definitely. That Roanoke ride is really difficult to get transitions past it. And on that last goal, that was Will Merritt's first goal, and as a freshman, good job by Will Merritt. 2 points total in the season. He had an assist earlier in the season.
As Merritt now with it on the left side. Sends it down the wing. Roanoke goes behind the net for Smith. Up the near side for Guernsey, who's checked back in. Smith from the far side. Now back behind the net for Guernsey. Guernsey the near side hoping for Rosano. Pass out of his reach. Merritt trying to keep it in bounds on the near wing. He can't quite get there in time. Roanoke will turn it over. Possession back to Randolph. Off the Maroons turnover. As Rosano and Guernsey will be over here to pester Mangano. Mangano has played well today. Really been able to protect the ball for the most part. As best you can. As he drops this one back for Herrick. Herrick skips it across as he goes pole to pole. Moving up the right side is Justin Baker. Baker met by Rosano and Guernsey. Back towards the near side, taken by Herrick. Herrick to midfield. Tries to flip that one ahead. Out of the reach there of Mangano. Up with the ground ball is Higgins. Higgins sidesteps a man. Goes to Ingold at midfield. Almost a hospital pass. Ingold able to turn back and absorb the check. And Ingold races towards the near side. Takes the wrap check. Looks towards the middle. Gives it up for Jimmy McNeely. The high pass corralled by the senior out of Maryland. As McNeely steps in the box along the near side. Goes down low for Rosano. Rosano for Smith at X. Fakes back to Rosano. Now still with it. Now he gives it up. For 42 at White. Back to the near side for Smith. The dot for Ben Rosel. Rosel across for Cam Ecker. What is considered the fourth midfield unit for the Maroons out right now. Ecker, Bear, and Rosel. Ecker, long dodge, tried a sidearm shot, and he rang that one off the iron. That comes all the way out towards the near side. They're going to say Randolph closer to it when it went out. As even through traffic, Ecker able to let fly a heck of a shot. Stephen Allman will bring it in from the near wing. Allman gets the whistle, now turns back. Drops this one for Greg Herrick. Herrick goes all the way across for Baker. Clears his own restraining line, moving ahead. Defense quickly closing in. His stick was checked as he lofted the pass into the middle. It's taken by Songer out of his net. Songer up the near side for Herrick. Across midfield. Herrick moving in. Flips this one further for Allman. Allman in traffic. Wanted to play a pass ahead. Roanoke will step up to take it. It's Cooper Starr. Starr up the near side now for Bradley Mayers. Long sticks actively involved in the clear. McNeely is unable to take the pass. Worsina does. Worsina through traffic. Rolls towards the inside. On his right hand sends this one down low. Smith with a shot. Looked like maybe he tried to feed that one across. Helping to find Rosano on the back post. Pass well out of his reach.
Yeah, he did try and pass it across, but it was unfortunate the feed couldn't be handled because that would have been one awesome goal to see.
As we have a timeout on the field taken by Randolph. We'll step aside. 4:11 to go in the third quarter. Roanoke up 15-0. You're listening to Roanoke College Lacrosse on 1240 AM ESPN in Virginia.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College, classic for tomorrow.
Welcome back to Donald J. Kerr Stadium. As Roanoke well over Randolph currently, the Maroons sitting at 8-3 on the season. They're 3-1 within the ODAC. Randolph 3-9, 0-5 within ODAC play. Still looking for their first ever ODAC conference win. Roanoke week by week. The Maroons have been ranked in the 13th spot since the season has began. They started the preseason poll number 2 in the nation. When I remember talking to Coach Pilot about it, he had said he thought a lot of that was just out of respect for the program and what the team was able to accomplish last year. But it was almost like reality set in then as the Maroons fell to number 10. They had lost to Dickinson as well as Salisbury. And the Salisbury loss pretty bad. Lost that one by 17. Lost to Dickinson, also lost to Lynchburg. So all of their losses have come to teams in the top 13, really. Dickinson now a top 10 team.
Well, it's not the worst thing to be taken from 2 to 13. Kind of puts your team in check because when you start to get too cocky, I mean, you don't work on the things that you really should be working on. Now at 13, I mean, they're going to be working on their weaknesses.
Well, this is definitely a different team than it was last year. I talked to Jeff Keating on Maroons Tuesday Night Live back on Tuesday night. As this clear gets all the way through, it's Guernsey. Guernsey up with the ground ball, in on a breakaway. Guernsey walking right in, took the shot, and he sent it wide of the net. Not very often you see a player moving ahead of the play in lacrosse. Guernsey had a heck of an opportunity right there. As Roanoke will bring it in from the near side, the Maroons getting a horn to straighten out their offense. As I mentioned, I had talked to Keating on Tuesday Night Live, back on Tuesday night at Mac and Bob's, and he had said that this team and last year's team aren't really comparable. While there are some similar elements, the teams are different, and they really are, just by the way they play. I mean, obviously, one of the biggest changes is Roanoke losing Justin Touma at the faceoff X, someone who can win 60% of his faceoffs and win them ahead to really start the fast break. That's changed up a lot of how Roanoke gets goals. As Merritt sends this one down low for Chad Smith. Smith looks to feed, comes to Duran along the near side. Duran goes up the wing for Seth Fortman. Fortman back down low for Duran. Duran across for Chad Smith. Now to the top for Will Merritt. Merritt feeds it in close. Sidearm shot, they scores. Ryan Brewer in traffic, getting his second goal of the season as he's able to beat Songer, just tuck that one into the bottom right corner. 16-0 Roanoke. 3:06 to go in the third.
And another freshman goal for Roanoke. Now 8 different Roanoke Maroons have tallied today. There's something to say about your team when you can have 8 different players score in a single game.
2 of them are freshmen. 1 is a defenseman. Jimmy McNeely, it looks like he's going to be down to try and take this face off. Popped it up towards himself, then lost it. After it is Chicklin. He comes up with it. Chicklin moving in, feeds a pass across. Down low, Duran with a shot. He scores. Chris Duran getting his third tally. That's the Roanoke offense we all know and love. The Maroons operating very well in transition. Chad Smith will draw the assist on Duran's third goal of the season. His other 2 coming, 1 against Adrian, in addition to 1 against Worcester. McNeely will be back down for the faceoff as Randolph wins this one. Chicklin checking hard there on Grundy, who's able to keep it. Grundy sends it in the near side for Colton Wood. Wood races all the way through the middle. He's hacked at hard by Carter and McNeely. As now he lofts it behind the net for Crosby. Crosby up the near wing. Sends it out for Grundy. Cycled further at the top for Borgout. Borgout now for Colton Wood. Wood steps in from the right side. Covered by McNeely. Looks, now goes behind the net. And Crosby will clear out. As Wood up the near side for John O'Hara. O'Hara tries to lower his shoulder. He's turned away. O'Hara checked out by Cooper Sturr. He was waiting for the over-the-head check. That shot then blocked by Jimmy McNeely in front. Up with the ground ball is Bradley Mayer. Mayer races ahead and uses the face touch to get through. Roanoke with numbers quickly in. It's Mayer. Feeds it for Carter inside. Pass got through for Smith, who was unable to come up with the ground ball. Smith still having trouble with it. Now able to take it well out of the box as he races down the left wing. Smith protects his stick on his left hand, feeds the near side for Duran, steps in with a shot, he scores. Duran, his second goal of the afternoon. Earlier on in this quarter, we saw Duran a lot of times trying to almost do too much. He was moving his feet before he even caught the ball. He was dropping a lot of passes, unable to really get the offense going. He has 2 goals in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, as a freshman playing college lacrosse, it's her first year in this. I mean, the biggest change in lacrosse comes from high school to college. When the game changes for you, it improves so much. It's so fast that it's hard to take a deep breath, calm down, and actually catch the ball in front of the net and shoot it. And just catch and shoot. That's all you need to do. And as a freshman, it's hard to adapt to that.
Duran getting his now 4th goal of the season. Roanoke extends their lead to 18-0, 1:39 to go. Here in the third quarter, down the faceoff for the Maroons is Ryan Brewer. As it's quickly, looked like the Maroons had it, they did not. Wersina digging forward as well. As looked like Roanoke, the officials said Roanoke had possession. Mayer took it and launched a pass ahead. Randolph still waited in the box. The Wildcats confused on the call. The back official was the only one who signaled to run. Wersina tries to come up with it. He has the stick not clean of hit stands. Now Chad Smith finally comes up with it. The face-off win, though, originally, I believe, will be given to Randolph. As Wersina was cutting through the slot, Roanoke couldn't find him. As Duran sent it for Smith. Wave a whistle and a stoppage of play. Looks like a loose ball push call here against Wersina and the Maroons. Possession back to Randolph. As Allman will start with it from the near side. Tries to go inside on Duran. Last minute of play now in the third quarter. As it goes across up the right side for Mahone. Mahone checked out. As he races through the middle, got a pick from one of his long sticks. As now Mayer tries to stand up Grundy, who steps past him. Grundy in from the near side, goes behind the net for Crosby. Crosby turns back, covered by the junior Haggins. Haggins came into Roanoke as a goalie out of Chatham, New Jersey. Coaching staff has opted to put a long stick in his hands instead. Clock at 26 seconds. Dodging on the right side is John O'Hara with an angle, feeds it all the way through the middle. Ended up in the stick of Charlie Peace, who outlets for Bradley Mayer. Mayer trying to race ahead as a step on his man, protecting the stick down to the final 15. Mayer in, check, let a shot fly, he scores! Bradley Mayer out of Jackson, New Jersey, getting his first career goal. The long stick makes it 19-0 Roanoke. 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Second goal of the day that has come from a long stick.
I mean, we've seen freshmen score today, we've seen defenders, and now a freshman defender has scored today.
This piece was able to pick that pass off, outlet it for Mayer, who just took it all the way. And Mayer even took the shot, had his hands tied up. It would have bounced that one past Sanger for his first career tally. As lookout, Roanoke's got another one. This is Chicklin. Chicklin feeds it across for Smith. He tried to move it before he quite had it. 3 seconds, 2 now, 1. The horn sounds, and that'll do it for the third quarter here in Salem. We've played 45 minutes of lacrosse, and Roanoke leads Randolph 19-0. We'll step aside, be back with the fourth and final quarter. You're listening to Roanoke College Lacrosse on ESPN Radio. We'll be back after this.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Don't settle for bar food at a sports bar. Watch the game on a big screen and eat great food at a sports cafe. All Sports Cafe with 30 screens of sports and the best food around. Say no to bar food and yes to great food at All Sports Cafe in Roanoke and Salem.
Welcome back to Kerr Stadium. Roanoke leading Randolph 19-0.
as the Maroons had a 2-goal victory in Wednesday's game. That's their smallest margin of victory this season and their closest margin this season in a regulation game, obviously.
Yeah,
Overtime resulting in a
closest
1-goal.
non-overtime game. That's true, Nick. I mean, it seems like Roanoke is just on a roll, winning the last 4 games. Looks like they will win this last one. They'll be on a 5-0 run.
And then Saturday they have Randolph-Macon, who's having a great season up in Ashland. Randolph-Macon sitting at 9-4 this season.
Well, with Roanoke having a week off between now and Randolph-Macon next weekend, I mean, they can't relax at all. They got to keep up the hard work they've been doing every day.
And the Maroons will take on Guilford Wednesday the 18th. The ODAC tournament starting April 25th as the Maroons control the opening faceoff of the fourth quarter. Moving ahead is Will Carter. Carter feeds Guernsey on the near side. Guernsey one more down low. Rosano, he scores. Rosano getting his first goal of the afternoon, the third goal of the season, as the Maroons have really been able to roll here on the faceoffs, operating in transition. Roanoke now up 20-0. 14:41 to go. Gil Long has taken over in goal now for the Maroons. The freshman appearing in his 4th game. He's allowed 1 goal, made 5 saves so far this season. Long, the sophomore out of Westport, Connecticut. As Roanoke digging it into their own restraining box. Bradley Mayer comes up with the ground ball. Mayer lofts this one ahead. It's taken by Merritt. Able to roll through a check. Stay on his feet before he's dumped. Lost his stick. Has to avoid the play. As Randolph with it as Blackwell bounces a pass up the near side. It's corralled by Grundy as he'll step ahead. Grundy steps into the box. Now plays it down the right wing. Randolph trying to get some sort of offense going. Held to just 1 goal in their last game. As that pass out towards midfield is dropped by O'Hara. He's pressured back up with it as he's checked out by Chicklin. He gives it up now for Stephen Allman. Allman at the top, covered by Ingold as he breaks down the right side. Allman from an angle sends it behind the net. Crosby sends it further at X for John Croney. Back now for Crosby. And again it's Croney. Croney lofts this one out towards the top for Grundy. Grundy covered by Ingold. As he races down the near side, checked out by Ingold. Pass for Crosby as it's fed out for Allman in front with a shot and a save made on the play by Gil Long. Kick save and a beauty as Cooper Sturr turns back up with the ground ball. Goes for Long behind the crease. Long up the right side for Mayer. Mayer into the middle of his pass, hoping for Ingold, is tipped. Taken by Randolph. They're quickly bumped by Mayer, and the ground ball taken by Ingold, who whips this one ahead. Taken in stride by Cam Ecker out of the box. Ecker tried to feed that one down low. Sent the pass up over top of, I believe he was trying to get it for Colin Rosano. Possession now will go back to Randolph. TJ, I believe that's Randolph's first shot of the second half. Coming just moments ago, was answered off the right boot of Gil Long.
Yeah, it was definitely a great save by Gil Long. I mean, it looked like it was really, really close on that save.
It was off the clear. In the middle, it's Borgout. Borgout sends a pass ahead. It's taken by Mahon. Mahon goes down the near wing now for Croney. Croney behind the net, covered by Mayer. Croney comes free, goal extended, turns in front with a shot, he scores. And that will break the shutout. Croney scored the only goal of the game on Wednesday night against Lynchburg, has the only goal of the game today against the Maroons as a defensive breakdown by the Roanoke, allowing Croney to go in front for his 13th of the season. TJ, it almost looked like Croney turned up in front of the goal, looked at Long, and didn't really register the fact that he's one-on-one now with the goalie.
I mean, yeah, that was a great goal by Caroni. I mean, they're doing a good job at not getting too disheartened. I mean, it's hard to play a game like this when you're losing by 20. And getting that goal shows that they're still trying hard. They're still playing lacrosse, and they're still competing.
Off the face-off, having some trouble with this one is McNeely. He's ridden off the play. That should be a loose ball hold, and it is. Or rather, it's called against Jimmy McNeely. Didn't see that one coming as Allman starts with it, and he's ridden hard along the near side, and he steps out of bounds. As McNeely rides him all the way into the turf, possession will go back to the Maroons.
Roanoke leads by 19, 20-1 the score, 12:15 to go. Roanoke gets set to start from the near side. It's Kyle Hagens. Hagens goes in the middle for Gil Long. Long across his own restraining line, looking things over. Gives it up for Cooper Sturr along the right wing. Sturr surveys the scene. Tried to send a pass through the middle. Looted everyone along the near side. Randolph came up with the ground ball. Before it was in turn, lost again quickly by Pearson. As they dig for it, play on call comes. It's going to be a loose ball push now against the Maroons. The official letting possession quickly restart, and Randolph not really paying attention. Mangano comes up, gives it back to his defense for Blackwell, who starts up across his own restraining line, feeds it along the left side for O'Hara. O'Hara racing towards the sub box, trying to use midfield to his advantage before he's popped hard on the play.
Roanoke's Ride doing a great job at converging in on the person who has the ball and everyone who could possibly get the ball from a nearby pass.
As Crosby sends that one for Hickman. Hickman tied up as he lost it. Randolph picking up their own mess, though, with O'Hara, who has the ground ball. O'Hara feeds the near side for Wood. Wood races in the right wing, sharp angle shot, and he bounced that one wide of the net. Colton Wood, the leading scorer for Randolph, number 9 in black. 25 goals this season. For the sophomore out of Chula Vista, Virginia. As Randolph will send it out towards the top. It's taken there by John O'Hara. O'Hara cuts down the right side. Tries to get his hands free. Took a shot, and he sent that one high and wide. And off the near side.
I mean, look at this, Nick. In the first half, they had 4 shots on goal, and now they've had 4 in the last couple of minutes.
4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like they're trying to get back in it, and it's hard to come back from a 19-goal deficit, but
absolutely.
At least they're still competing.
As O'Hara skips it along the top. Taken by Allman, who cuts down the left side. Allman tied up on the play. Hacked at by Cooper Sturr. Allman gives it up in the left wing alley now for Colton Wood. Wood tries to come in on Hagens. Now stops at the side of the box. Just goes towards the top for Borgelt. Borgelt for O'Hara, worked on by Ingold. As he wanted to roll back on his left hand, Ingold says no. Borgelt still moving, took an angle shot. It went off of Long and then up off the crossbar. Hagen's got a piece of the ball. Comes now for Stephen Mitchell, who races ahead. Mitchell tied up, drops this one in the middle for Worsina, who has some trouble coming up with it. Now he has it. Worsina races down the right side, took a shot, and a save made down low. Rebound chance, they score! That one hockeyed in by Duran. He has the hat trick.
Great reflexes by Duran, seeing that the ball had been saved, roll on the ground. He just kind of hockey sticked it in there. Seen a couple goals like that today.
Duran setting a career high in goals and points, shots as well. His previous career high, obviously, 1 with 1 goal in 2 different games. Duran, the freshman out of McLean, Virginia. Puts the Maroons back up 20, 21-1 the score. 9:50 now remaining. As the faceoff win controlled by Roanoke. Moving ahead, it's Brewer. A 4-on-3 chance. Brewer tries to feed that one down low, hoping for Rosano. The pass skipped wide of everybody along the end line. Rosano dives to keep it in. He's unable to do so. As Randolph will send it into the crease for Songer. Quickly up the left side, it's Grundy. Grundy now for Mangano. Mangano's pass easily picked off by Duran. Duran in on one defender. An outside chance answered play by Songers. Duran got buried after he took the shot. As Mahone turns back at the restraining line. Drops it back for Songer. Up the left wing on the clearance, Mangano. Mangano checked at by Chicklin as he moves down the left wing alley. Mangano all the way in his left hand with a shot. He scores. Mangano going end to end. 21-2.
The score in favor of the Maroons. That'll stop the clock at 8:55. Mangano getting his first career goal.
I don't know what happened, Nick. I mean, this looks like a different Randolph team that we saw in the first half. Only 4 shots, no goals. Now they have, 6 or 7 shots in a few minutes, or maybe 5 minutes, and then
Well, with respect to
goals.
Randolph, they're going up against Roanoke's second, third defense, third, fourth, fifth midfield units.
I mean, that's true, but in the first half, they did have the ball quite a bit, and I didn't see a lot of shots from them. But, I mean, this half, they're definitely getting a lot more shots off.
As Wersina up with the faceoff win, feeds Chad Smith, who steps in with a shot. He scores. A beautiful shot into the top left corner. Smith getting his first career goal. As Roanoke answers right back up 22-2. The score 8:48 to go in the fourth. As we'll go back and take a look at the replay, Roanoke has really been able to set the tempo and run their style by winning faceoffs. As the faceoff went on the near side, Smith just stepped in with a man in front of him, able to pick his corner. Pretty shot there out of the stick of the freshman from Madison, New Jersey. As the Maroons dumped inside the box, play on call comes. It'll be waved off. As the Maroons came up with the ground ball, Mitchell now turns back in traffic. Mitchell feeds towards the near side for Smith. He was unable to handle the pass. As that one will trickle through, come out of bounds along the near side. We'll get a horn as both teams will make some minor changes. So Randolph will start with it from the near alley. As Blackwell sends this one into the middle for Chris Songer. Songer up the left side for Allman. Allman stays in his right hand, able to face dodge past one Maroon. Stood up along the sideline, sent a pass inside. Now for Grundy. Grundy up the near side for Crony. As Crony moves behind. Checked that by Mayer as he gives it up. To the top now, it's Bobby Crosby. Crosby cuts in down the right side. Gives it up for Crony behind the net. Cronin clears through X up the far side. And the pass for Allman, left wing alley. Allman tries to back his man down. Now moves towards the inside. He's checked from behind, then stood up. Ball comes free towards the near side. Now we have a flag coming in late. I believe they're going to take Allman. Let's see, as the official for sure grabbed Allman.
That's
I'm
Allman's.
not sure if he took Carter too.
Well, that's Allman's second penalty of the game.
Allman getting 1 minute for unnecessary roughness as he was stood up. I think what got him was the fact that he went back after.
Well, yeah, Will Carter
Carter.
hit him as he dropped the ball. Looked like Allman said something to him or came up to him after.
Getting unnecessary roughness, he must have went back towards Carter. As now another official looks like he's going to grab Carter, and he is.
Well, if Carter had walked away after Allman came at him, it would have just been 1 penalty. But
As the officials talked things over, Carter now will sit as well. So Carter gets a 30-second interference call. And 1 minute then assessed to Allman. So we'll play 5-on-5 in the offensive end for 30 seconds before Carter releases and Roanoke goes to a 6-on-5 man advantage. As Smith moving behind the net, gives it up for Durant along the far side. Back behind the net now for Smith. Roanoke seems probably content to just eat off those 30 seconds and take their chances on a man-up try. So Rosanna moving behind the net. Lofts it up the far side. Taken there by Ryan Brewer. Time winding down the penalty. It's now released. Carter out of the box. Roanoke, their 4th man-up chance of the afternoon. So it goes for Carter on the right side. Carter sent a pass down low that up and out of the reach of everything and everyone. So Roanoke will turn it over. Randolph will bring it in behind the net.
now Randolph will have an opportunity to kill off their man down opportunity.
20 seconds or so left on it.
As Mangano. This pass up the near side. It was lost and taken in one hand by Chad Smith. Smith races down the near wing. Clears goal and extended angle chance, and a save made on the play by Songer. Rebound crowd by Mangano, who sends a pass further up the left wing for Matt Bray. 6.5 to play. As Bray tied up, lost the ball out of bounds. Possession now will go back to the Maroons. Roanoke will start with it right at midfield. It's Ben Rosel. As Rosel comes towards the near side. Taken by Carter. Goal extended for Smith. Now behind the net for Colin Rosano. His poke check lost it. Now got it back. Zone defense here from Randolph. Runs play catch along the near side. Ecker with it. Now turns and fires. And he sent that one wide of the net. Backed up on the play by Rosano. Possession to stay with the Maroons. As Rosano gives it up on the near side. Smith with an angle shot. He scores. Smith getting his second goal of the afternoon. A low to high. Makes it 23-2. 5:55 to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Chad Smith, the freshman attackman, playing really well today, as you saw with that last shot. Now tallies 2 for the game. Playing very well against this Randolph team.
Setting a career high with 2 goals. That's down on the faceoff. They dig for it. It's finally popped free and taken by, Stephen Mitchell. Rather, it's Chicklin. Chicklin feeds the near side through pass all the way through, and on the back door, Duran scores. Duran getting his 4th goal of the season. All of a great setup on the play. But it was by McNeely.
Not only even on the season, but of this game. Duran has 4 goals.
Came into the day with 2. As actually, I want to say it was Smith who fed that pass all the way through. That threaded the needle through 3 Wildcats all the way across. Orsina and Mitchell the wings. As down at the X was Ryan Brewer. Roanoke wins the draw. Mitchell up with it. Feeds the near side for Smith. Smith feeds down low for Rosano. Back for Mitchell. Wanted to pull the trigger. Thought better of it. Goes for Smith. Now Rosano goal line extended. Goes to Duran along the far side. Duran cycles it back to X for Rosano. The near side Smith steps in, fakes the shot. On his left hand, moves behind the net. Smith feeds it quickly back at the front. Rosano turns and fires. He scores. Orsina getting his 2nd career goal. As the Roanoke offense, TJ, after that faceoff win, they never settled down. They never waited for the midfield to go off. They didn't wait for a new midfield to come on. They just kept working.
I mean, the Maroons will sometimes make a change or two, but usually they just go right for it. And that first transition, that first fast break, they go for it. If they don't get it, they get the rebound, they stay on offense, and they just are shooting all the time. Bam, 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 run and go offense.
25-2 the score. 5:15 to go here in the fourth quarter. As Orsina comes in, picks up the ground ball, cleaning up after Will Merritt at the faceoff X. Orsina has scored today. His other goal came against Hampton Sydney. As behind the net, it's Smith. He gets it back from Duran. Bannon gives it up again. Smith back with it. Now Rosano on the near side. It's Fortman with it. Along the right side. Comes towards the near wing for Will Carter. Carter out to get some work with the 3rd midfield unit. We saw him running today on the top midfield line back in the first half. As Brewer with it at the top goes down the wing for Durant. Behind the net now for Chad Smith. Smith up the near side for Seth Fortman. Saw Fortman on attack a little bit earlier on in the season. Pass on the right side for Brewer. Back there and behind. Wouldn't be surprised to see the officials put a stalling call on for the Maroons. As Carter unable to handle that past the edge of the restraining line. It's picked up by Randolph. The Maroons quickly closed it on him, but the ground ball squirts free towards the near side. Look out, moving back to the way, it's Mahone. Mahone steps in, tried to drill a man, feed it in front, and they score. Getting that tally was Clay Orshinsky. Orshinsky, the freshman at Elkwood, getting his first career goal. I don't think no one really saw where that ball had ended up.
Randolph getting their third goal, trying to stay, competing with Roanoke, even though there's a big differential. Not giving up. It's key to lacrosse. Randolph definitely depicting that.
That's a legal procedure called against Randolph on the faceoff. McNeely pushing the tempo. McNeely for Smith steps in with a shot and a stick save made on the play by Songer. Songer gives it up on the near side for Blackwell with 3.5 to play. Blackwell pressured. Lofts the pass across for Justin Baker. Baker to midfield. Pass high. Mitchell got a piece of it in his own end and lost it out of bounds. Possession back to Randolph. So we got a horn late in this one. Roanoke will move on to a 9-3 record. 4-1 within the ODAC as Randolph will take their 10th loss of the season and fall to 0-6 within conference play. Still looking for their first ever ODAC victory. As Wood cuts in the left side. Wood check, now bump, took a shot, and he bounced that one wide of the net. Behind the net, Gil Long out of his crease. Plays the ground ball to himself and comes up in the far alley. His lead pass knocked down. Long back after it against Allman. Long making a beeline to get back into his net. As Borgel takes his shot and he missed the empty net. Long got in to get a piece of it. Rather, it was Cooper Sturr who got in the way. Sturr closer to it when it went out of bounds after he blocked the shot, so he'll start with it from the corner. Sturr lofts to midfield, taken then by Jimmy McNeely.
That was a great job by the Roanoke defense. When Long came out and they covered for him, the defender stepped in net, waited for Gillon to get back. Great save.
I was walking with this one is Cam Acker. Acker gives it up at the top now for Rosal. Down the right side, it's Pat Bear coming in off the bench. As Roanoke will work the ball around the perimeter. 2:20 to go. Roanoke up big over Randolph here at Kerr Stadium. He's crossing over is Cam Acker as he steps in the box, got tied up. Ball knocked free. Acker protects the stick as he comes up with a loose ball. Under 2 minutes to go. Roanoke with the lead has to keep it in. Acker behind the net. Swims back and forth there on Mahon. Still with it. So he fakes the flip. Now comes free. Acker from the near side walks in with a shot. He scores.
Great fake by Ecker, almost using the same play they usually use with the fake, but it was a little unorthodox. I don't think the other player was on the same page and definitely fooled the Randolph defense on that one.
101 seconds to go in this one. 26-3. The Roanoke lead. A slow whistle from the referee. Roanoke able to pop the ball ahead as it's Will Carter who has to battle for it. Now we have a whistle and a loose ball push, I believe, caught against the Maroons. Randolph to start with possession. As Spielman gave it up on the left side. Comes now for Allman. Allman crosses over, moving through the middle. Allman checked that from behind, took a shot, and that one looked like went off Cooper Sturr. Goes out of bounds behind the net, possession to stay with Randolph.
Go along doing a good job, though, getting out of the net. It's definitely a good characteristic when you see a goalie sprinting out and trying to beat the other attackman to the ball.
We used to see the Dorsey dive. Every time that ball missed the net wide, you'd see Jake Dorsey take about 3 steps and just lunge out for the end line. It did win him quite a bit of balls since Roanoke pushing that one up the far line. The Maroons come up with it.
Roanoke absorbs the check, then loses it out of bounds. That was Pat Bear. As we get a horn. 1:05 left in the clock. Roanoke up by 23. Zach Spielman starts with it. Spielman tied up, lost the ball. McNeely goes over, just trying to kick it over in midfield. We have what's on a loose ball hold called here against Roanoke. And in 55 seconds, Allman had some trouble with it off the restart. He's now checked at by Ingold. Lost his footing and went down. Allman feeds it inside. Now a flag's going to come in as Roanoke caught someone up high. I'm not sure who, but Colton Wood took a stick to the helmet. As we'll get the call, Roanoke will finish the game. Looks like man down. They will bring out their top man down unit. Stay with us post-game. TJ and I will go through, give you our final thoughts. Take a look back at the stats through the 60 minutes of lacrosse. We'll also be joined by Roanoke head coach Bill Pilot. It's the Roanoke Lacrosse post-game show. Stick around.
I think this is the first man-up opportunity that Randolph has had today, coming in with under a minute to go.
First or second? I believe they're second, as Randolph will work it behind the net. As at the top, Wood tries to cut in, took the shot, and a stick save made by Gil Long. Long comes to the near side for Eric DeLong. He has Braden Geary ahead. Look out, here's Geary. Geary sends it down low, now gets it back. Geary steps in, fires, and he sent that one just wide.
Looking for what, his 7th goal this season?
It would be his 3rd multi-goal game of the career. Geary's just going to stay up in the offense here late in this one. 15 seconds to go. Why not? As Rosano with it behind the net. Roanoke just going to sit on this one for the final 10. As Rosano back with it behind the net. The horn sounds, and that'll do it here at Kerr Stadium. As Roanoke improves to 9-3 this season. They are 4-1 within the ODAC. Randolph falls to 3-10, still winless within the ODAC at 0-6. Looking ahead after today's contest, Roanoke off for a week before taking on Randolph-Macon next Saturday as a part of Roanoke College's Alumni Weekend festivities. Randolph-Macon 9-4 this season, 3-1 within the ODAC. For more information on Roanoke's Alumni Weekend, as we mentioned, visit roanoke.edu. Randolph's contest a week from now, and they travel to meet Berry College in Charlotte, North Carolina for an 8:11 a.m. face-off. TJ and I will step aside and be back with the post-game show as we'll take a look back at our stats from 60 minutes of lacrosse, and we'll chat with Roanoke head coach Bill Pilot. We'll be back after this. Tempo as he steps into the box. Plays this one down the wing along the near side for Reed Mayberry. Dominic Guernsey getting the start today for the Maroons. He's in place of Jeff Keating. As Hayden starts off in the near corner. Hayden goes topside, going extended in front with a shot. He scores. Mike Hayden to stay with the Maroons. 12:39 to go in the first.
Just missed that top left corner, Nick. That was just
we had a
inches.
great view of it. So on the near side, it's Reed Mayberry. Gets a pick, comes up, goal line extended, now turns back down low. Defender slips. Mayberry on his left hand with a shot. He scores. Checks at his man from behind. Geary coming up after the ground ball as well. Wersina digging for it. As moves towards the far sideline, Wersina up with it. Wersina, his 21st ground ball this season, feeds it out in front. Lackland with a shot. He scores. The pass ahead that eludes everyone. A loose ball chance. DeLong up with it in his own end. DeLong races towards the near side, puts the brakes on to protect his stick, drops it back for Hardan. Hardan up, has Hayden on the near line as Hayden will step into the box. Hayden has a cutter coming through the middle. Carter, Lackland scores! Carter was unable to take the pass. Lackland, right place, right. Smith sends it in for Dominic Guernsey, who protects the stick, able to roll free. Guernsey feeds it in front for Lackland. Traffic with a backhand shot. He scores. Rich Lackland has the hat trick. As up with it, the official kind of got in the way, but Dubois moving ahead. Opportunity now for Roanoke with an odd man chance. To the near side, it's Guernsey. Guernsey behind the play, Hayden. Looking back across for Guernsey, protects the stick. Hayden moves towards the middle on his left hand, feeds it down low. Lackland fakes and he scores. Rather, that's Jeff Keating. Keating entered up the near side. He gives this one for Wersina. Under 60 seconds to go here in the first quarter as Wersina Races over the midfield line. Orsina moving ahead. Sends this one for Brendan Neislich. Neislich feeds it down low. Geary with a shot. He scores. Geary getting hit. Went off his stick. He never quite controlled it. Ground ball was taken behind the net. Knocked free. Guernsey over after it as Neislich runs hard into his man. Lackland comes up with it. Feeds Keating on the near side. Keating fakes the shot. He scores. Keating getting his third goal of the day. 28th. Salisbury. Welcome back to Care Stadium. Taking a look back over the final stats as Roanoke beats Randolph 26-3. The Maroons outscoring Randolph 7-0 in each of the first two quarters, 5-0 in the third, 7-3 in the fourth quarter for your final of 26-3. The three goals for Randolph coming from John Croney, Anthony Mangano, and Clay Orshowski. Mangano and Orshowski each getting their first career goals. Mahon, the only assist of the contest for the Wildcats. For Roanoke, 14 different players tallied a goal. 12 different players added an assist. Lackland finished the game with 5 goals, while Jeff Keating tallied 4. Chris Duran also with 4. That's a career high. Chad Smith, a career high with 2 goals. Reed Mayberry also finished with a deuce. Worsina, Hayden, Dubois, Rosano, Merritt, Ecker, Brewer, Geary, and Mayer finished with a goal. Chad Smith with 4 assists, Guernsey with 3 helpers, while Hayden, Keating, and Worsina each added 2. Duran, Dubois, Lackland, Mayberry, Merritt, Neislich, and Rosano also with an assist. Roanoke outshot Randolph 67-16. Randolph getting 11 of their 16 shots coming in the fourth quarter as they were only outshot 13-11. Roanoke dominated the ground ball battle, winning 63, where Randolph was able to corral only 29 at the faceoff X. The Maroons won the faceoff battle for what seems like the first time in a while. 21 of 34 for the Maroons, 9 of 11 in that fourth quarter. Randolph below 50% clearing. That hasn't happened in a few years. Last time an opponent was below 50% clearing was back on April 14th of 2010 against Guilford, where they were just 46%. Randolph 12 of 27. They were also 0 for 3 on their extra man opportunities, while Roanoke was 3 for 4, 3 for 3 in the second quarter. 18 saves by the Randolph netminders, as time was split between Kevin McCracken, who had 12 saves, and Chris Songer, who had 6. McCracken allowed 14 goals, making 12 saves. Really not a bad ratio. In goal for the Maroons, Mike Hardan got the win. Played just short of 13 minutes, no goals allowed, made 1 save. Charlie Peace played 32 minutes, no goals, 2 saves. And Gil Long played the entire fourth quarter, allowing 3 goals and making 1 save. Randolph turned the ball over 30 times in this one as opposed to Roanoke, who turned it over just 22. Taking a look back quickly at our keys to the game, TJ and I had talked at the top of the broadcast. One of our keys was going to be for Roanoke to focus on the task at hand. It appears as though the Maroons did just that as they came out hot. Rich Lackland had the hat trick 5 minutes into this one as Roanoke had a 5-goal lead, 5:03 in. The Maroons outscored Randolph 7-0 in the first and in the second for a 14-0 halftime score. Have to go back and check the books to see the last time Roanoke had an opponent shut out at the half, as I know for a fact that has been a while. One of our other keys was depth. As I mentioned, Roanoke had 14 different goal scorers. 12 different players gathered in assists for the Maroons, as Roanoke was really able to show their depth. I have to ask Coach Pilot if he got everyone in, but looking down the box score, it appears as though almost everyone played, as we saw 4 different midi lines, 3 different attack groupings, 2-3 different defenses, in addition to all 3 goalies. Our goaltenders were going to be the third and final key for the Maroons. As I mentioned, Mike Harden and Charlie Peace did not allow a goal, as they made 3 saves, all 3 of Randolph's goals coming against the Gil Long, the sophomore out of Connecticut. Roanoke's next game comes up on Saturday against Randolph-Macon. Wildcats, or rather the Yellow Jackets, 9-4 this season, a 3-1 mark within the ODAC.
part of Alumni Weekend, as the women's lacrosse team will take on Barry at 11:30 a.m., while the men's lacrosse team takes on Randolph, making it 2. Both of those games at Kerr Stadium. The baseball team is also in action that Saturday up at Kiwanis Field, just near campus. And at the Moyer Complex, the Roanoke softball team will take on, I believe, Eastern Mennonite in a doubleheader. That one starting at noon. Coach Pilot on his way up to the press box. We'll be right back in chat with the Roanoke College head coach and former goaltender for the Maroons. Get his thoughts on this win. Ask him about some of the freshmen. That's all time. Ask about the 14 different goal scorers. We'll get his thoughts on taking on Randolph-Macon next weekend. He'll be back after this. Welcome back to Kerr Stadium. I'm joined now by Coach Pilot. Coach, a 26-3 win in front of a good crowd on a beautiful day on a lovely 3-day weekend, a Saturday afternoon. 14 different goal scorers, 12 different players with assists. You had a freshman finish with 4 goals when he came into the game with 1. I'm not really sure where we start with this one.
Well, it's beautiful weather. We had a great crowd, which is nice, since a lot of kids are on break. It was a good day for lacrosse. And, Randolph is a new coach, and he's doing a great job building the program. He's working real hard, and they were just outmanned today. I mean, they're a brand-new team, and they just played Lynchburg on Wednesday, and then they come and have to play us. So that's a pretty tough task for anybody. And I told him after the game I thought his kids really competed hard the whole game, and I told my guys to make sure we have respect for those guys for the effort they gave the whole game. They just didn't have enough guys. I mean, I played everybody quite a bit, and we just wore them down.
Rich Lackland finished the game with 5 goals to go along with an assist. We haven't seen Lackland the past couple games as he's been out of town. Didn't look like he missed a beat at all stepping in today.
Yeah, it's good to see Rich back. You know, he played in the first half, and he had some beautiful goals. He's known for that, and it's good to have him back in our lineup. We're hoping to get Joey Coretti back as soon as possible, but obviously with Rich in there, we don't skip a beat. It's 2 great players.
Absolutely. Now, Chris Duran came in off the bench. TJ and I had talked about it. He seemed to struggle soon after he came in. Looked like he just wanted to get on the scoreboard. As he was trying to catch, he'd be moving his feet too much, just really struggling. And then he buckled down, finished the game with 4 goals.
Yeah, that's great. You know, Duran's a good lefty player. If you got one of our younger guys, and he played a lot of minutes today, which is great. A lot of our younger guys did in the second half. That's nice to see. And, you know, we push those guys hard in practice. It's good to see them get rewarded in the game by getting a lot of playing time, and they're learning every day. So this was another step in their development. And I thought that Duran did a nice job.
Well, Chad Smith finished the game with 2 goals, along with a game-high 4 assists for 6 points. Another one of the freshmen just really playing well coming in off the bench.
It's great for Chad. You know, I think Chad could be a star. We've been working with him, and he does some great things. Other than Keating, he's probably our best right-handed shooter. And in the Lynchburg game, we had him on man up, and he did fine, but he needs to get back there on that man up. And the good thing is he only had 2 goals and 4 assists, so he obviously has vision too. So I'm real happy with Chad's development also, and it's great to get him a lot of playing time in the second half. He's worked hard. He deserves it.
Now, you had said when I chatted with you the other day that you were looking to use a new goaltender each period, and we did see that. But in the first, we saw Hardon come out for, it seemed like about 30 seconds when Peace went in. You guys scored in transition, and Hardon came back in.
I'd prefer not to give away my secrets. However, I just wanted to talk to him for a second and then send him back in. It's pretty much what it was. I didn't like his positioning on a clear. I wanted him to do something a little bit different. So that's the great thing about having 2 great goalies. If I want to talk to him, I don't have to scream. I can say, Pease, get in there. And I knew he can hold the fort down and bring Mike out and talk to him for a minute. And then he went right back in. So it's a nice thing to have with, 3 good goalies like we have.
Well, that explains that small situation. Now, we saw McNeely, Brewer, and Will Merritt take faceoffs today, along with Carter, Hayden, and Ingold. Now, with Satoski out for a little bit and Dubois struggling at the X, do you think one of those guys has the opportunity to step in and be taking some here as the season winds down?
Well, that's what we're trying to see. We try to throw a lot of people at them and, try to wear their guy down. And it's hard when different styles. And plus, we're giving guys experience. It looks like Brewer had a nice day going 7 of 8. And the other guys did pretty well too. McNeely 5 of 8 and Merritt 5 of 8. And so we're just trying to see who maybe our best guy is. We really don't have a set face-off man. Satoski's still out. He should be coming back soon. But until then, we're just going to keep throwing guys at people.
Now, in a 23-goal win like this, when you and your coaching staff go back and look at the tape, what are the things that you're going to be looking for? Is it more so to look at the freshmen and maybe see if the depth chart's going to get rearranged or who deserves more playing time or who maybe needs to have it cut down to less?
Well, it's the same thing pretty much every time we watch the game film after. We're looking at who's doing the things that we teach every day and who's in the right position. Sometimes you can get away with stuff. If somebody's in the wrong position and the team doesn't make the pass, that doesn't mean we did things right. So I can see who's getting our system and who's not. And I have a pretty good idea right now with 2 games left in the regular schedule. But again, we will look at effort and see who's working hard and stuff like that. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with everybody's effort today and what I saw with the knowledge of the system. I thought it showed in especially our fast breaks. You put those young guys in there and we didn't skip a beat. Beautiful fast breaks, beautiful team ball, and that's what we want to have as our trademark. So with a couple times Chickenen picked up the ground ball on the wing, and he's a backup long stick, and he pushes it down to Duran and Smith, and they get nice goals. And that's our system, and if they can keep doing that, then that's great. They're progressing very nicely.
Heck, we even saw Mayer following the footsteps of Geary and come up and tally a goal. Geary having another tally. He's almost another one at the very end. Now, your team has a week off before you take on Randolph-Macon next weekend, being Alumni Weekend. What's your schedule like for this week? How do you think is the best way to approach practice getting here late in the season?
Well, we're a little banged up. We got some guys we got to get back, so the week will definitely help us and give some rest to some guys. We were able to rest some guys today as well. Basically we played 2 separate teams, one the first half and a different team the second half, which is nice when you have that depth. So we'll take Sunday, Easter with the families. Everybody should have a nice time. And then Monday we'll take off as well to rest. And then Tuesday we got to go at it hard because Randolph-Macon's a good team. So we have to be ready for that game on Saturday and then the stretch run.
making 9-3 this season. Definitely should be an entertaining alumni weekend for all of us. Coach, thanks again for joining us. Congratulations on the big win. Enjoy your week off.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks so much to our sports information director here at Roanoke College, Brad Moore, athletic director Scott Allison. Our technical director here in the studio is Reed Hall. Thanks to our friends back at the ESPN in Virginia studios. For CJ Camper, I'm Nick DeSanctis as Roanoke wins 26-3. Good afternoon from Salem. Have a great Easter.